Coming to you live from Johannesburg. Welcome to Friday with Tim Modise. 16.5% of eligible voters in the 18 and 19-year-old age group are registered to vote. With 6 months left until next year's general elections, the IEC is concerned about these youth figures. Tonight, we look at why youth activism in politics fails to translate into votes. You can tweet us using the hashtag Friday with Tim Modise, or you can call us on 011-759-6340. But first, let's catch up on the day's leading stories with Kandeki.
Britain, thank you. Let's get straight into it. Here's where we begin tonight. We begin with the latest on this. President Cyril Ramaphosa and ex-SARS boss Tom Moyane may be heading for another round in court. The president says he will not withdraw Moyane's notice of termination. Moyane gave him an ultimatum to withdraw the termination by today or face legal consequences. The president fired Moyane after being urged to do so by the Nugent Commission of Inquiry into governance issues at SARS. Now, under Moyane, the Revenue Service collapsed. He's also accused of mismanagement and corruption. Former President Jacob Zuma has lost one of his court battles. The North Gauteng High Court has dismissed his leave to appeal a personal cost order against him in the state of capture review case. It means he'll personally have to pay the 10 million rand he racked up while challenging the former public protector's remedial action to set up a state capture inquiry. He will also have to pay the other party's legal costs. A DA-led court challenge of the government's decision to pay his legal costs is still pending.
And we are delighted that the court has dismissed his appeal, because this should serve as a salutary lesson to cabinet members and senior government officials that they need to do their duty, whatever that duty is, rather than to try and avoid that duty by engaging in senseless litigation.
Candidates for the NPA's top job have been paid down to 12 people. The presidency today announced the shortlist. It was finalized by the panel President Ramaphosa appointed to advise him on finding the best person for the job. Almost all the candidates are current and former prosecutors. Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions Silas Ramaide is also on the list. So is the DA's Glynis Breitenbach. Interviews will be conducted next week. SABC staff protested today at offices nationwide over possible retrenchments. The public broadcaster plans to cut around 900 permanent jobs and over 1,500 freelance positions. Union members are threatening to strike if the retrenchments go ahead. They're also demanding that executive salaries be cut by 40%.
The issue with SABC is around its funding model. And we are saying that if we have to look into the question of a turnaround strategy, we have to really look at how you sustain SABC going forward financially. And that, amongst others, it's a levy from government, one, but two, it's also a question of the funding model of SABC.
Zulu King Zwelithini is facing a lawsuit over rent charged to people occupying land that is part of the Ingonyama Trust. The King is the sole trustee of the trust, which administers millions of hectares of land. It's alleged Ingonyama cancelled people's initial agreements to stay on the land, replacing them with 40-year leases. 3 lobby groups are challenging the trust in court.
Primary focus of this litigation is to set aside those lease agreements that have been entered into, to stop the Ingonyama Trust from converting any more PTOs to lease agreements, and to refund any monies that may have been paid by these residents by the Ingonyama Trust back to them. So we really want to restore the status quo as it was before, and to ask government to ensure that these informal land rights that people hold at the moment be upgraded to registrable interests that can be registered with the Deeds Office going forward.
You're up to date with all the headlines. I'm back with a full update at 8:30. For now, though, it's back to you, Britain.
Thank you very much, Tembeki. And still ahead, why are young people staying away from the voting polls? We'll find out in a moment.